We've been doing it since all of them got here, so it hasn't been any real difference for me. I got a feel for all of them, all the guys that get in there and get reps and things like that, whether it's E-Man or Gino or Jared or Milani, whatever the case may be. We have, and that was the main switch. I think I had Mason at one point with me at tackle. Played with Mason last year and things like that. So that's no real big difference. I've been with them and all, working with them all throughout spring, fall camp, summer, things like that. So no real difference.
Can you take us through the drop snap, touchdown pass to Taj, kind of what you saw as that unfolded?
Yeah, it was actually designed like that. No, I'm joking. It was so my hand actually got hit before, the play before, and I had a bruise on it. It wasn't anything crazy. I just got hit in a spot where my hands are, where your reflex and things like that. It kind of slowed down a little bit. So when the ball hit my hands, it kind of just fell right out and hit the ground. And in that moment, it's, you try and always be in rhythm, trying to always be, on point. But when things break down, you coach recruits good players to try and go make plays. And we got a bunch of guys like that. And so the play broke down, and I saw the ball on the ground. I felt like nobody was coming out there coming to hit me just yet. I also had Austin right there to block, and so I felt that, and I picked the ball up, had a clean hop, so I picked it up, and I saw actually the corner and no safety, and so I just let it rip and tried to see how far I could push it out there for Taj.
So from game 1 to game 2, what are the biggest things you think offensively that you guys need to work on to look much better this week?
It varies from week to week, but I say this week is just consistency. It's something that I push myself on every single day, but being able to try and push a whole offense and team, being one of the leaders and things like that is something that we talked about as we call it our leadership council. Something that we talked about with probably 18 of us, 18 of the leaders on the team, and just consistency and keep pushing. We can't take anybody for granted. We can't take anything for granted. We had a good team last week. We got another good team this week, and we don't go out there and you're not consistent, you don't execute, and you don't have second effort plays, then scores are a lot closer than they will be or should be from all the work that you put in from summer, fall, and during the week. Whether it's you're playing the championship game or whatever the case may be, scores are always going to be a lot closer when you don't have second effort plays, when you don't have consistency. And those are two most important things, I would say.
What are some of the biggest takeaways from Nevada on film?
It's interesting because this is their first game, so you can't really. You obviously study, what they did last year and things like that, but it's the head coaches and / D coordinator's second year, and so you pay attention to what they did last year, obviously, and game plan off of that, but you also have a certain understanding that this is their first game this season for them, and they got a lot of good players and a lot of players coming, from transfer portal, which I think it was around 8 to 12 players coming from the Pac-12, I think it was. So they got a bunch of good players coming in, or that's there now, and we'll see how it goes. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be out there. It's their first game, and so everybody's excited on their first game, just like we were. And so we just have to go out there, execute, and go have fun.
How much can Zach elevate this offense?
He elevates it just as much as Gino elevates it, just as much as Jonah, Justin, Dedich, just as much as Taj, just as much as Brendan Rice and all these guys. It's a 1/11th kind of thing. You do your job, and that's where Zach can go out there and perform and do his job. And so you see all the flashy plays and things like that, but we're here pushing people to do their 1/11th, because if you do your 1/11, we can have plays like that. If you don't, we'll have 5-yard gains, and our explosive players and things like that can't go make plays. So he obviously elevates it. He's a special player at such a young age. Got to keep him going. Understand that it's a long season, and we got to keep progressing, keep going.
You were talking about after last Saturday about putting the onus on yourself to be a better
The who?
leader.
Yes.
Putting the onus
Yes,
on yourself
yes,
to be
yes,
a better
yes.
leader during practice. I'm curious. You're talking about getting guys to watch more film, this and that. Anything that you've done this week in particular to help consistency, as you were talking about?
I think something that I've done is we've been out here after practice a lot more, whether it's reps of the new plays, reps of our basic plays that we've worked, and things like that. Because in football, there's no sense of mastery. You got to keep going, keep progressing. There's always something. And so we've been out here in the field working, and then when we're during practice, things like that, we're working and pushing for consistency. And so I've been hard on myself. I've been hard on the team, the guys, and then just speaking to the leaders, not out loud, really coming over, speaking to them during practice, saying let's keep going, doing this and that, let's keep leading. Small things like that goes a long way.
Let's do one more.
Caleb, how do you remain consistent, and how does your team become consistent when you've got your offensive line doubling in every other series? How do you deal with that?
How do I deal with the offensive? Which part of the question you want me to ask? The O-line question or the?
Sure. Take it from where you want.
Yeah, okay. It's something that you work. I mean, you work all these guys for a reason. Coach wouldn't put them out there in the field if they didn't have that talent and the focus and things like that to be able to go out there and perform. So that's the first part to that for offensive line. Coach believes in them. I believe in them. We've been all working and training offensive linemen, back and forth. Whether it's Jared, whether it's Mason, whether it's D-Ditch, whether it's whatever the case may be. We shuffle offensive line throughout spring, throughout fall. And so there's no real difference for me. I know I got a special group, special talent, whether it's offensive line, whether it's running backs, whether it's wide receivers, tight ends, whatever the case may be. We got a special group, special talent in each position. So we're just trying to figure out the best situation for us as a team to go out there and have the best opportunity to go and win the game.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.